Look, I wish him all the best. He's taking his route, I'm taking my route. But that fight might never happen. So I'm not gonna, I'm gonna always be behind the British fighters. Like, he's a British fighter. He's doing it for us Brits, so you have to be behind him. I think that fight between me and him, I think it's gone past me. I don't think it'll ever happen.
Okay. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. So it looks like the mayor of London, he wants to stage Amir Khan versus Kell Brook, presumably next year, 2017, at Wembley. And I want to give my thoughts on that. He says, basically, there's nothing like the UK. London hosts some of the greatest talents, etc. And he wants to hold the best, biggest, and most impactful cultural events in London, right? That's basically what he said. So he's down for the fight and staging the fight. And I really want to give my 2 cents on this. I love the idea. I've loved the idea ever since I seen Amir Khan and Kell Brook on Sky Sports a long time ago, where they were both live in the studio and they were arguing with each other. I was like, that's it. That's what you guys seen in the thumbnail. I was like, these guys need to fight. They clearly have bad blood. They've sparred before. They have different accounts of what happened in sparring. And stylistically, it made sense. However, both fighters decided to dare to be great. And this is the funny thing. I find it very comical because both fighters, they dared to be great and moved up in weight to fight guys that most people consider them to be overmatched in doing so. And I was one of the people who compared the two situations, and a lot of people said, oh, Canelo Khan and Triple G Brook is not the same. Brook's more durable. But it is the same, because in the end, it's two welterweights moving up. You could say, okay, Kell Brook, he's more durable, but what happened? He still got stopped, right? He wasn't out cold, but he still got stopped. He got his eye socket broken, right? Other than that, the bottom line is they're two welterweights who are moving up in weight. And the reason why it's still similar is, although Khan has a shakier chin, so people are like, oh, it's different. He was also fighting the guy who's been beaten before, right? And Golovkin is just looking like a wrecking ball, and there's no absolute blueprint to successfully beat him. You could say, oh, Kell Brook or Curtis Stevens has some success, but then they also got stopped. You know what I'm saying? So Kell Brook, it's still the same thing, because Kell Brook, although he is more durable, most people did believe that, he was also traveling up a higher amount of weight to fight the guy who's perceived as probably the harder style to beat. You know what I mean? Khan, maybe, I mean, I didn't see it, but some people thought maybe Khan could outbox Canelo. You know what I mean? Canelo's slow on his feet. Golovkin, we don't really know. No one's had prolonged success with Golovkin. So realistically, even though Kell Brook is more durable and he showed you that, it's just about the same thing, because he traveled up more weight. He still got stopped, and he was fighting probably the bigger puncher. You know what I mean? Canelo has power, but I mean, who hits harder? Triple G at 160 or Canelo at 155? So the situations were pretty identical to me. A lot of people tried to justify, no, Canelo Khan, Triple G Brook, they're different, and it's because Chris Eubank. I don't care. The bottom line is two welterweights daring to be great and losing like we all suspected. End of story, right? And after the fight, there's even more similarities. Other than the two British fighters who were both welterweights, who hadn't really shut down the welterweight division and put to bed that they are absolutely the best guys at welterweight before they moved up. That's one of the biggest things I had an issue with. The daring to be great's cool if you're Shane Mosley at lightweight and then you're jumping up to fight Oscar De La Hoya, a money fight. Made sense, because no lightweight on earth was touching Shane Mosley at that time. So why not? Juan Manuel Marquez, he wanted to fight Pacquiao. He said he couldn't get the rematch, so he called Floyd Mayweather out while he was retired. Marquez was considered the best lightweight. He just beat Juan Diaz, Baby Bull. I think he was undefeated at the time. And post-fight, he called out Floyd Mayweather. He had already cleaned out lightweight. You know what I'm saying? So those situations make more sense. Kell Brook's last three fights before Golovkin were like Jojo Dan, Kevin Bezier, and Frankie Gavin. And his only name of real note that everybody universally gives him credit for is Sean Porter, right? And then for Amir Khan, he has a good resume, but a lot of it's in lighter division. At welterweight, he had beat Collazo, beat Devin Alexander. He looked good in those 2 fights, but then before he fought Canelo, he had fought Chris Algieri and he didn't look great. And Algieri was coming off a 6 knockdown loss. So another thing that they have in common with them both daring to be great is they both got stopped, and they both now have injuries from pretty much their last fight. And I mean, Khan, I don't think he's really admitted that the reason he got the surgery is because the knockout, but I think he tweaked something. He might have already had an issue, but when he got knocked out, your body is lifeless. You just go limp. You know what I mean? It's like disconnected. So I think he re-aggravated something that was messed up in his hand already. And then Kell Brook, we already know what happened with his eye socket. So to me, the time is now. I want to see the fight. I've wanted to see the fight for years between Kell Brook and Amir Khan. They both dared to be great, which was, in my opinion, wasn't the smart business move. I mean, people will say, oh, Golovkin was exposed, but you can only say that to a certain degree, because at the end of the day, Golovkin still got it done and still caused Brook's corner to throw in the towel. I say it for a different reason, because I'm saying it from a perspective of I seen what troubles Golovkin. I seen a style and certain attributes that I think will give Golovkin a lot of problems, right? But at the end of the day, a win's a win. I just want to see it. I think it's a reasonable fight. I think both fighters, it should be the same type of pressure of Mayweather Canelo. You know what I mean? I mean, Mayweather and Pacquiao. This is just, they shouldn't go their whole careers without fighting each other, and they definitely shouldn't. They should do it sooner than later. Right now, the UK and British boxing is a hotbed, right? Call Froch versus George Groves rematch. They had 80,000 people in that particular fight. The network, I think HBO picked it up, right? On top of the distribution over there in the UK. 80,000 people. That's what Carl Froch always remarks and reminds people. 80,000 people. They're trying to stage Anthony Joshua over there next year somewhere too. That'd be crazy if he had like Wilder or Luis Ortiz versus Joshua or something like that. So they need to strike while the iron's hot, because you guys have both been stopped before. Now at this point, you guys both have losses now. Kell Brook's no longer undefeated, and it just makes sense. I'm not big on catchweights, but this fight maybe it has to take place at a catchweight. I don't know. It's really up to Kell Brook more than Amir Khan, because Kell Brook, I mean, they both said they couldn't make welterweight, to be honest. That's another similarity. They both said, oh, I was killing myself to make welter, and they both said that. So I don't know, but I would be okay even if this happened from 147 to 154. You know what I mean? Anywhere in between that, just because I understand catchweights are something to deal with, and Kell Brook may not want to come crashing down, especially if he's vacating his belt at 147, which he has until the end of the month to negotiate. If not, it's going to a purse bid. So time's running out. He's going to either have to fight Errol Spence Jr., and if he doesn't fight him, then I don't know if he would try to kill his body to make 147, but they could fight at 150, 152, 153, 154. I mean, it's still a good fight. I still would want to see it, but time's running out because they don't want too many more bad performances or vulnerable performances or losses and then try to fight. It's not going to be worth the same money. So since you dared to be great, which is one of the reasons I didn't want to see them move up and Khan move up and fight Canelo and Brook move up to fight Golovkin, because I told you guys, you have a built-in excuse, right? If Errol Spence Jr. beat Amir Khan, if Errol Spence Jr. beat Kell Brook, there is no excuse. He doesn't have a resume as good as yours. He's never fought at the level as you guys. He's your size in your division. So if he stopped you, it's different. But if you move up to Canelo weight at 155 with no rehydration clause, then Khan can easily say that. Oh, he was just too big, he was too strong, and I was doing good, and I just got caught. You know what I mean? Same thing with Kell Brook. Oh, I jumped 2 weight classes, and I took on the biggest middleweight. I got the biggest stones on earth. You know what I'm saying? So it was a built-in scapegoat, which is, I don't like fights like that. I don't like the fight to happen with certain clauses like that, to the point where you just give the person credit for, oh, they challenged themselves. You know what I mean? Knowing that they were going to lose the whole, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. I just don't like that. So to me, loss is loss. They've both been stopped. They should just fight each other. It's been a fight brewing long enough. And again, it's going to keep going down if they have suspect performances coming off of bad losses. You know what I mean? Kell Brook, his eye, he had to get surgery. I mean, that's a bad loss. Amir Khan, I mean, he was sleeping with his eyes open. These are bad losses. So to me, the time is now to make the fight, because if Amir Khan has another Chris Algieri type of performance, then who's gonna really want to see the Kell Brook fight? Like the Chris Algieri is supposed to be a cakewalk, but if he has a tough fight with a guy like that, or let's say he fought Robert Guerrero and had a tough fight, then I don't really even want to see the Kell Brook fight. So I think the guy should cash out, just put it all on the line. It's a high stakes fight for both of them, but the winner will get a lot of credit, and then the loser will just have to really climb back up the ladder. But once and for all the bragging rights for the British boxing, you got the mayor of London, for God's sake, who's trying to make the fight. The fans want to see it. To me, it's crazy how boxing works with politics. The two welterweights that we wanted to see scrapped for years, Amir Khan and Kell Brook, they don't fight each other. And then the two basically guys who are big enough to make middleweight, one's an actual middleweight, Golovkin, and then the guy who is really a middleweight size when he rehydrates and stuff, he's a light heavyweight size in Canelo. He's posing as a 154 pounder in a 155 body or whatever the fuck he's doing. So he's technically fighting at middleweight. The two middleweights aren't fighting, Canelo and Triple G. And then in turn, the two welterweights that should have fought each other, they both go and fight bigger guys. So you see how backwards that is? You know what I'm saying? It'd be one thing if Amir Khan, Kell Brook winner went up and then fought Canelo, went up and then fight Triple G, the winner of that fight. That would make some sense because they at least fought each other. But to see the two welterweights not fight the other welterweight and instead fight the middleweight, that just seems ass backwards. That's like some Freaky Friday shit. Let me know what you guys think. Drop it in the comment section. I love the fight. Kell Brook, Amir Khan. Drop your comments and let me know who would win that fight, and just get some predictions out there and describe it. Make sure you share the video, like the video as always. Hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video is Ego signing off.